amount of geese that they've taken so far, and they say they don't plan to round up any more geese this year. Now, last year they took 208 geese and euthanized them from 5 different Madison Park locations. Now, this is done through a division of the Department of Agriculture contracted through the city. The reason, the city says, includes the impact on water quality, decreased aesthetics, safety of aircrafts, and landscape damage. The new executive director of the Alliance for Animals says she had no idea this was happening until recently, and she tried everything she could to get it stopped this year.
We've offered volunteers to clean up and to drive the trucks and to buy the equipment. There's really no excuse for it.
She suggested oiling the eggs to stop reproduction, planting high grass near the water, and scaring the geese with dogs or cardboard cutouts. The city says they do some of these things, using solar lights and decoys to harass the geese, and they've helped decrease the amount of geese, but the roundups are still necessary. The city says the goal is not to eradicate the geese, but to manage the population. And the Alliance for Animals hopes that they have enough time, they have about a year now, they can come up with a plan to stop this from happening next summer.
Amanda Quintana along Lake Wingra. Amanda, thank you. A Wisconsin prosecutor has decided he will not file charges against 3 high school students who gave their classmates brownies laced with a male enhancement supplement. Rock County District Attorney David O'Leary and Clinton Police Chief David Hooker said that 3 Clinton high school students made the brownies, secretly laced them with Zerexin, and gave the brownies to their classmates as a senior prank back in May. Those brownies sickened 5 students. The pranksters could have been charged with a felony, but O'Leary said that they never intended to hurt anyone. They expressed sincere regret, apologized to the school, police, and their fellow students, and agreed to cover their sick classmates' medical expenses. All right, let's get a look at your first alert weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us in the Weather Center. Gary?
Eric, it's a warm day today. The humidity levels have crept back up, but a cold front will probably drop the humidity again as we head into tomorrow. As we take a look at visible cloud track, you can see plenty of sunshine across the state. Clouds have been thickening up a little bit, but still some sunshine coming on through. On Doppler track, a couple of showers up in far northern Wisconsin. I think the best chances of seeing a shower or thunderstorm are going to be this evening and mainly north and east of Madison. Low temperatures this morning started out in the upper 60s here in Madison, although many locations started out in the upper 50s. Current temperatures are generally in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Wautoma's at 90, as is Lone Rock and Janesville. And dew point temperatures are in the mid 60s to the lower 70s, especially over southwestern Wisconsin. You add those together and you come up with heat index values that are in the upper 90s in Lone Rock and mid 90s in Boscobel and La Crosse, and around 90 here in Madison. By tomorrow morning, the threat for rain will be over with. Look for temperatures to drop off into the middle 60s just before 7 a.m. and then our temperatures will warm back up to around 85. The humidity levels will be down for tomorrow. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. A man accused of driving under the influence Friday had a baby in the vehicle when he hit a motorcycle. Madison police say 45-year-old Roy Pruitt of Milwaukee was driving on Watts Road on the west side around 4:45 p.m. when he pulled his SUV into a motorcycle's lane of travel. According to the report, a 41-year-old Arena man suffered significant road rash in that collision. Pruitt had a 1-year-old child in his SUV and was arrested on tentative charges of third offense operating while under the influence with a passenger under the age of 16 and bail jumping. And a Janesville man faces his 4th drunk driving charge after driving into the side of a bridge. Janesville police were sent just before midnight Friday to the Memorial Drive Bridge for reports of that single vehicle crash. 37-year-old Nicholas Daniels appeared to be intoxicated, told officers he had lost control of his vehicle and hit the side of the bridge. After completing field sobriety tests, Daniels was arrested on a tentative charge of 4th offense, operating while intoxicated. That's according to a police press release. Around 65 firefighters responded to Log Furniture Company. That's in Lake Delton. Firefighters say they received a call around 1:30 this afternoon. This was for a report of a fire at Waterman Log Crafters. When firefighters arrived, they reported seeing a lot of smoke in a dust collector. There was also fire in the collector, which is used to manufacture those logs.
We geared up for the worst case scenario, and we're very happy that the best case scenario resulted. The fire was, again, contained to the dust collector. There were no injuries. The building sustained minor smoke damage, and they'll be open again tomorrow. So that's a win-win for everybody.
Crews say 11 fire departments as well as 4 ambulance departments responded to the call because the fire had the potential to create an explosion. A family fighting a tough battle is taking on a big project, one they're hoping will help save lives. News 3's Madeline O'Neill can tell us what they're planning and how their fundraising is already making a difference. From Evansville.
It's a gut-wrenching feeling.
A cancer diagnosis can feel isolating.
It's insane. All your life can change in a moment.
It was devastating when it applied to 4-year-old Harlow Phillips.
She's a fighter.
Less than a year ago, the word neuroblastoma tore down any sense of normalcy in Harlow's parents' lives.
Oh, this horrible, horrible disease.
But now,
Fired up?
with some help,
Ready to dig.
they're building something new.
We need to find a cure, and this is the only way I know how to do it.
Right now, this might look like just another empty lot. But this community is building hope from the ground up.
It's a groundbreaking idea, really.
Very unique.
Building a house to sell for cancer research money.
Why not do what we do? And that's build homes.
Daddy, I got to do
This is awesome.
Harlow's dad, Andy, is a contractor, and the family dug right into the idea, using materials and labor both happily donated.
They're kicking butt is what they're doing, so everybody's proud of them, and we're all willing to help out any way we can.
I can't even explain it. It's awesome.
The Phillips already know it takes a village to build a house. Now they're learning it's the same way with finding a cure.
Basically takes parents and friends and families and communities to step up, which Evansville has clearly done that above and beyond.
Every little bit helps quite a bit.
Dr. Ken DeSantis at UW Health says that kind of funding gets clinical trials off the ground. Like his newest, testing immunotherapy against neuroblastoma in kids.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
It's money from Harlow's family raised earlier this year that helped get it started.
Yet somehow they managed to find the energy and time to be able to raise money to help support what we're doing is really just incredible.
We're going to do it until we can find a cure.
This family figures the more support they can build for cancer research, the better off kids like Harlow will be. And they're not doing it alone.
She's got an army behind her, that's for sure.
Reporting in Evansville, Madeline O'Neill for WISC News 3.
Family hopes to raise about $200,000, which they will then donate to an organization called Beat NB, which funds research looking for a cure for neuroblastoma. You'll be able to find more information at channel3000.com. Imagine trying to live on the same income you made more than a decade ago. That's what's become the driving force behind a staggering rate of suicide among farmers across the nation. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, suicide rates are higher for farmers than any other occupational group. The changing climate from year to year makes it tough for farmers to sell their product for more than it costs to produce it. Among other stress factors in the field, the accumulation leads to farmers who have simply lost hope. Coming up tonight on News 3 at 6, we speak with a farmer who shares his story of how he not only survived a suicide attempt, but is hoping to bring more awareness to help others. Hunger and homelessness don't take the summer off. That's the message from the Salvation Army of Dane County today. Rose Schmidt in our news center to tell us how you can help the organization this month. Rose?
Hi, Eric. Only 18% of their summer Red Kettle campaign shifts have been filled, meaning they could really use those bell ringers. You might associate those Red Kettles with winter holidays, but the donations are needed just as much when it's warm outside. Child hunger and evictions increase during the summer months here in Dane County, so the money donated to the Red Kettles goes towards services like the food pantry and the diversion program, which keeps families out of a shelter. Each shift brings in about $100.
One shift equals 3 nights of safety for a mom and baby formerly living on the streets. It's that easy. Just 2 hours of your time and somebody else can have a world of difference.
There are 27 locations across Dane County that have Red Kettles, including most grocery stores and Walgreens. The campaign kicks off Saturday, and the Salvation Army has shifts open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. until the end of this month. So if you'd like to sign up for a 2-hour shift, head over to our website, channel3000.com.
Rose Schmidt at our news center. Rose, thank you. Family separation at our nation's southern border may have come to a close, but to those who oppose the Trump administration's immigration policy, a new battle is now underway. Protests across the nation are calling for lawmakers to abolish ICE, the federal agency responsible for deportation. This as Mark Pocan, Wisconsin's 2nd District Congressman, has introduced a bill to do just that.
I think, some people are saying you got to reform it, get rid of the president's abuses. I'm just afraid that, the minute that ICE jacket comes out now, you can't accomplish what you need to because of how the agency's been misused by the president.
Congressman Pocan's bill would abolish ICE and reassign its responsibilities to other agencies. His fellow Democrat, Senator Tammy Baldwin, says she does not support Pocan's bill. She said we should focus on, quote, targeting violent criminals and drug traffickers, not families and refugees. The Red Cross has initiated a blood emergency and is urging donors to give blood to make up for shortages. A Red Cross representative says that more blood is being used than is being donated, which can have serious consequences, including doctors being forced to delay surgeries. Officials say they're in need of about 15,000 donations, which could take 500 blood drives to reach that goal. Dane County will remove the slow no-wake order on Lakes Monona, Waubesa, and Kaganza tomorrow. Officials say the slow no-wake orders will be removed at noon for those 3 lakes, but the restriction will still be in effect in Squaw Bay on Lake Monona. The slow no-wake order was removed today for the Rock River between Indian Ford Dam and the Beloit Rocktown Line Road Bridge. News 3 partnering with a local nonprofit called Today Not Tomorrow to help ease the burden for parents in Dane County. It's for the community baby shower, and we're looking for diapers, baby wipes, formula, gently used clothing, strollers, cribs, and so much more. And you can drop off items for the community baby shower today through Friday at Viridian Homes, that's off the Beltline at Southtown Drive, or Associated Physicians on Regent Street at South Midvale Boulevard. You can also make a donation at the cost through PayPal. All of that information available on our website, channel3000.com. More to come on News 3 at 5. The former Hollywood producer accused of sexually assaulting multiple women is in court. We'll have the latest from Harvey Weinstein's arraignment. Plus, the president set to pick his nominee for the Supreme Court, what both sides of the aisle are saying about the potential candidates. And on Wall Street, stocks soar to start the week. The Dow up more than 320 points. The Nasdaq jumped 68. The S&P added 24. And we'll be right back.
No one.
Harvey Weinstein, the disgraced Hollywood producer, pleaded not guilty to 3 additional sex crime charges in Manhattan criminal court in New York today. The 66-year-old Weinstein was indicted last week by a grand jury on 1 count of committing a criminal sexual act in the first degree and 2 counts of felony predatory sexual assault. More than 70 women have accused Weinstein of sexual misconduct, including rape and other incidents. Weinstein's attorney, Benjamin Bratman, says he will plead not guilty and maintains all of those allegations are false.
Any suggestion that Mr. Weinstein raped anyone, based on the overwhelming evidence that I have in my possession already, is a ludicrous suggestion, and Mr. Weinstein has, of course, also vigorously denied that suggestion.
Weinstein is out of jail on a $1 million cash bail. In total, more than 75 women have come forward accusing Weinstein of some sort of sexual abuse. President Trump is just hours away from announcing his nominee for the United States Supreme Court. He tweeted this morning, quote, "I have long heard that the most important decision a president can make is the selection of a Supreme Court justice. Will be announced tonight at 9 p.m. The decision down to 4 contenders. Appeals court judges Amy Coney Barrett, Thomas Hardiman, Brett Kavanaugh, and Raymond Kethledge. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has told the president that Hardiman and Kethledge may be the easiest to confirm.
We should evaluate this president's nominee fairly based on his or her qualifications.
We already know that President Trump's nominee will be prepared to overturn the precedents of Roe v. Wade.
Former Arizona Senator John Kyle will guide the nominee through the confirmation process. Rescuers say they are now done with the second stage of a dangerous mission to save a soccer team trapped in a cave in Thailand for more than 2 weeks now. During the rescue mission, each of the young boys is wearing a dive mask as they enter the murky water. They are then led by a diver who is carrying their oxygen tank and guided by a rope while another diver follows them. The entire journey covers about 2.5 miles. Officials say it may take another 24 to 48 hours to get everyone out. Starbucks says it plans to get rid of plastic straws from thousands of its stores around the world to help the environment and reduce ocean trash. It is the latest move among a growing movement to target single-use plastics. The coffee company plans to roll out alternatives, including strawless lids. Environmental groups say single-use plastics are to blame for about 40% of the plastic found in our oceans. All right, we felt a little more humidity out there today after that great weekend, but will we get relief soon? Here's Gary Canalti.
Well, I think we'll get a little relief from the humidity, but the temperatures, that might be a different story. Let's start out by taking, first of all, just to remind everybody that we are taking submissions for our 2019 Wisconsin weather calendar. So if you have some good weather pictures, especially different times of the year, they got to be scenes in Wisconsin, but send their high-resolution pictures in a horizontal format to the address on the screen, weather calendar at WISC-TV.com, and make sure you submit those by the end of August. So good timing to get some good pictures in. Now, as we take a look at visible cloud track, lots of sunshine today. A few more clouds have been building up recently, but not a lot in the way of precipitation. In fact, as we check out Doppler track, you'll see there's just a few sprinkles up in northern Wisconsin, and that's pretty much it. A couple of flashes of lightning over in the eastern portion of the UP of Michigan. It's possible there could be a stray shower or thunderstorm, but the best chances, I think, are going to be north and east of Madison through the evening hours, and then after that, things will probably dry out. Current temperatures are in the upper 80s to around 90 through much of Wisconsin. To our south, temperatures even a little warmer in the 90s, and you can see those dew point temperatures, upper 60s here, but 70s over southwestern Wisconsin through much of Iowa and down into parts of Illinois. So you factor those two together, and we're seeing heat index values right now in the lower to middle 90s. To our south and west, those heat index values are closer to 100 over central portions of Iowa, where temperatures are a little bit warmer. And as you take a look at the temperature trend over the next 7 days, above normal temperatures expected every day. Highs mid to upper 80s, and nighttime low temperatures eventually will come back into the 70s. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Generally clear skies over southwestern Wisconsin. The WISC Skycam looking out toward the west shows some cirrus clouds coming in from the north, but things pretty quiet here. The Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, plenty of sunshine there. As we check out the almanac for today, high temperature so far 87, the low 68, and right now we're sitting at 87 degrees. It feels like 90 with dew point temperatures in the upper 60s and winds out of the west-southwest at 10 miles per hour. Tropical weather track shows a tropical storm just off the Carolina coast. This is Tropical Storm Chris. Latest information from the National Hurricane Center has it just below hurricane strength with top winds of 70 miles per hour, nearly stationary. But the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center fortunately takes Chris in a northeasterly direction, or moves it very slowly and then eventually kind of settles it off toward the northeast and then accelerates it. So it will increase back to a hurricane, but then as it heads away from the United States, it moves over the cooler waters of the northern Atlantic Ocean, still maintaining some strong winds, but just becoming more of a problem to shipping rather than anything else. Around here, things pretty quiet. Like I say, we have a weak cold front to our north, triggering a couple of showers or a thunderstorm. The main jet stream, though, is still to the north of us. That's why temperatures are warm. And even out over the Pacific Ocean, that jet stream up to the north, and that weak cold front is not going to have much of a push behind it. So our forecast for tonight, partly cloudy and mild, just a slight chance of an evening shower or thunderstorm, mainly north of Madison, with a low of 66. Tomorrow, partly sunny, still very warm, but not as humid, with a high of 85. Heat index from 85 to 90. On future track, you can see that front coming through. Just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Will be dry for tomorrow with plenty of sunshine and highs in the mid-80s. Tomorrow night, we'll look for skies to clear out with low temperatures in the lower 60s. And then Wednesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine with high temperatures in the middle 80s. As we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, you'll see those temperatures remain warm. In fact, even a little bit warmer toward the end of the week and into the weekend, with highs close to 90 over the weekend, and just a chance for some showers or thunderstorms. Maybe a little bit of a break toward the end of next week. I see perhaps by Thursday of next week, temperatures dropping back into the upper 70s. First alert traffic as we take a look at the view from the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Pretty slow traffic in both directions on the Beltline. A lot of red showing up between Verona Road and out to at least Monona Drive. So expect slower than normal travel times. And you can see it here, 24 minutes eastbound from on the Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, 21 minutes back in the westbound direction, or make it 22 minutes now. And if you're heading out of Madison, about 28 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline to Janesville, 18 minutes out to Sauk City on US 12, and 17 minutes out to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your first alert traffic.
Gary, thank you very much. Still ahead on News 3 at 5, health-conscious shoppers now have a helping hand at the grocery store. We'll tell you all about this service after a short break.
News 3.
Welcome back. Supermarkets have such a huge selection now. It can be overwhelming if you're trying to make those healthy choices. Now some supermarkets are helping customers by literally walking them through the aisles. Kenneth Craig has the story.
Looking back, last 2 weeks.
James Aguilera is going over numbers from his lab work with a dietitian.
Diabetic type 1, so my A1C was totally out of control.
But they're not in a doctor's office, they're at his local grocery store.
It did pretty good.
Registered dietitian Kelsey Lubeck meets with customers every week at this ShopRite in Ramsey, New Jersey, a service the store offers free of charge.
We'll do a one-on-one consultation. We can sit down for a little bit, and then we walk the store and we show them products. And it's high protein.
The program gives tips for reading nutrition labels to help customers make healthy choices.
Maybe looking at a claim that's on a product and explaining what it means.
For customers like James, who has diabetes, Kelsey shows how to count carbs in products.
She explained, that's not really 15 grams of carbs anymore. You subtract the 7 grams of fiber, now it's 8 grams of carbs.
Insera Supermarkets launched the program in 2012 and says thousands of customers have taken part.
A lot of shoppers are also, dealing with chronic medical conditions that diet and nutrition can really play an important role in helping resolve or prevent.
Everything is included.
Since shopping with Kelsey, James has his diabetes in check and he's lost weight.
I've lost 20 pounds since I started this about a year ago.
One thing he's gained is a healthier way to shop. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Ramsey, New Jersey.
Other supermarkets offer access to dietitians and nutritionists, but most charge for those services. We'll have another check of your forecast when we return. Stay with us.
The
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, we are in Washington, D.C., where President Trump will soon announce his second Supreme Court nominee. Jan Crawford is here with new reporting. We are also in Thailand, where 8 members of the youth soccer team are out of the cave. We will look ahead to day 3 of the rescue operation. Very busy evening tonight on the CBS Evening News from Washington, D.C.
Well, let's bring in Gary one more time. Final check of the forecast.
Pretty warm out there. Humidity levels have been creeping up. Current temperatures are in the mid to upper 80s, 87 right now in Madison, but a few places at 90. And you can see those dew points, upper 60s to the lower 70s. So it feels like mid to upper 90s, at least over southwestern Wisconsin. Those temperatures, though, you can see that for some reason we jumped past the temperatures, but they're in the mid 80s. Trust me, all the way through the weekend.
We trust you, Gary. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6. CBS Evening News is next.